What is up, guys? Miticus here, the coach for the Boston BEEDRILLS. Thank you for joining me on this draft analysis for the APA Wi-Fi Season 1. The APA has finally made its way into Wi-Fi. We have stepped not away from Showdown because we still have a Showdown portion to the league, but we have extended ourselves to the Wi-Fi and to a lot of new talent within the Pokemon, the competitive Pokemon community. So we have 12 coaches in this introductory season for Wi-Fi. We have Jacob, as always, who's the coach of the Green Bay Pikachus. Myself, the coach of the Boston BEEDRILLS. We have Tesla Mouse, the coach of the Houston Raichus. We have Point Blank, who is a coach, a former coach, actually returning coach from APA Showdown, who is coach of the Winnipeg Blue Blastoise. We have, I'm going to try to pronounce his name, Fazuki, who is the Sharon Flame, honestly, I'm not sure what that city is, but he's the Talonflames. We have Jay Specs, who is the coach of the Hamden Hydreigons. We have Dallas Staryu, who is the coach of the Dallas Staryus. I think he actually goes by Espliancer or SB or something like that as well. We have another coach from the APA Showdown, the man who made these graphics that you're seeing right now. We have EliteFourDan, the coach of the Addlestone Ampharos. We have the coach of the New York Cosmogs, Phantom Bass, or Phantom Base, I think is actually what it is. We have D-Pad Gamer, who is the coach of, I'm actually not sure what he is the coach of. That's a little embarrassing. Hold on one second here. He is the coach of he's actually a very, very, very new coach. That's why I'm having a little trouble. Orlando City Superiors is what it is. And Fazuki is the Sherbrooke Talonflames. So my apologies on those. A lot of new casts here and not real used to their team names quite yet. So then we have Arcanite, who is the coach of the San Antonio Victory Bells. And then the third commissioner, because I forgot to mention that EliteFourDan is, of course, one of our commissioners for the APA. And then one of the founding people of the APA, along with myself, Panther, who's the coach of the Carolina Caterpies. So we had 11 rounds. We had the S tier, tier 1, tier 2, 2 tier 3s, 1 tier 4, 1 tier 5, and 4 free picks that you had to choose 4 mons from 4 or 5 tiers that you could spend 400 points on. So S tier is kind of an incorporation of the highest of the tier 1 mons and mega Pokemon. We kind of made those into one tier. That way it actually replaced the mega tier that you would see previous seasons, and this was because not a lot of megas are released yet for Wi-Fi battling. Of course, they're on Showdown, but they are not on the actual DS systems. So let's go ahead and get into this. It's kind of getting late here, so I'm gonna make this very quick and simple. Let's hop into it though. First pick that we have is going to be Manaphy. Here's my first pick. Manaphy's Manaphy. You know, he's one of those Pixie Mons. He has base 100 stats across the board. He has hydration as an ability, so that's pretty cool. If I was able to run rain or something like that, I'm not really looking to do that. I don't think. But Manaphy is exciting. He has Tail Glow, which is incredibly scary for any team to go against. Some decent coverage moves as well. I think Manaphy can definitely put some pressure on throughout the season, and he can be run in many different ways. On to the next one, we have Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn's pretty exciting. I'm kind of familiar with using Ferrothorn. I've used him before. Not very versatile. You kind of know what he's going to be bringing. He has a few different sets that he could run, but nothing out of the ordinary. He's just really good at what he does, and he has really good typing with grass and steel. Obviously has that huge weakness with fire, but our next pick can kind of offset that, and that is going to be Garchomp. Garchomp is a monster. He does have also another ×4 weakness with ice, but Garchomp and Ferrothorn kind of counteract each other. Obviously Ferrothorn, those ice moves are going to hurt a little bit, but it's not going to be too bad. And Garchomp really offsets that fire weakness, which is really, really good. Garchomp can be used in a tremendous amount of ways, and he has the rough skin and the Sandveil, which I'm not going to be using Sandveil probably ever, but rough skin's pretty nice, getting those physical hits, making them take damage for those hits, punishing them for any kind of hits that they give us. You know, Garchomp's good, and Garchomp's actually going to be one of our Z-Mons this season as well. So he has a few versatile moves that we can use, and I'm excited about using them. Next up, we have Hitmontop. It's our first hazard remover of the season. Hitmontop has a good ability with Intimidate. It's decent defenses, a decent attack as well. He's a good Mon. He's a good Mon. I think he's going to do a lot of good for our team. He's going to make those offensive threats just a little bit less threatening with Intimidate. And he's going to help us get the hazards off the field. Next up is going to be Sableye, one of my more favorite Mons. I've used him several times in the APA in the Showdown variant. He did get a little bit of a nerf this season with Prankster not being able to hit Dark type moves, or I'm sorry, not being able to hit Dark type Pokemon. But he's still good. He's still viable. He still has a lot of different tricks up his sleeve, which is really, really neat. He has recovery with Prankster, which is always really, really nice. I think Sableye is going to do well for us in weakening the opposing team, being able to stall out the opposing team and status the opposing team. And he has a lot of other moves out there that can be really, really useful as well. Then we have Salazzle. Salazzle is kind of an interesting pick here. Not familiar with Salazzle at all. It actually gives us our third ×4 weakness on our team, but it does give us the speed that we need. So Manaphy is going to be base 100, Garchomp's going to be base 102. Salazzle's quite a bit faster, 120, high 120s I believe. I don't have the stats right in front of me, but it's a decent speed stat. A good ability with Corrosion, being able to toxic anything that's on the field, no matter if it's still or not, which is really, really great. So, you know, the Celestillas or whatever may be, the Steel types out there that we typically couldn't have hit, now we can hit the Heatrans and stuff like that. With Toxic, we can start to wear those down. He's also our second Z-move user of the season. Decent coverage moves. He's quick. He's powerful. I think he can put a lot of threat on the opposing team. Next up is going to be Electros, one of the biggest Assault Vest threats in the game. He can take a lot of special hits. He has a lot of coverage. He has Super Fang, which is really, really nice. So whatever comes in, it can take an immediate 50% if they're at full health. I mean, there's not a lot to say about this guy. He's not a huge offensive threat, but he can get the job done. He has Levitate, so he has no weaknesses, which is really cool. We have to watch out for the Mold Breakers, obviously, with like maybe Excadrill. But other than that, Electros he's a really, really good Mon. I think he's going to be really good for our team. Just gotta watch out for those those physically offensive threats, which can kind of punish us. Next up is Togetic. I had Togekiss snipe from me early in the game, so I went to his pre-evolution with Togetic. Now, obviously, with Togetic, he's not as viable, in my opinion, as Togekiss, simply because you have to run a Violite on Togetic, and you can't run leftovers or maybe specs or whatever you want to run on Togekiss, because whatever you run on them is going to make them better. Obviously you don't have that ability with Togetic unless you want to be really a real rebel and not run the Violite, which I don't think that would be a good decision. But Togetic still has Serene Grace. It still has Thunder Wave. You can still flinch people with Air Slash, Thunder Wave them, paralyze them. He's definitely a Hexmon, but he also has a lot of viability and the coverage that he carries as well. He's a good flying type, a good fairy type, and he has Defog as well. So now we have Togetic as a Defog user, Hitmontop as a Rapid Spin user. I think that's our only hazard removals so far. Did mention, or forgot to mention, that Garchomp is our Stealth Rocker. Ferrothorn can also set rocks and spikes, and I believe that's it. And I think that's our only hazard setters as of right now. Going on to Snorlax. Snorlax is interesting. Snorlax can be a big threat if you carry the right sets and you prep him correctly for the opposing team. I'm excited to use him. He has quite a bit of coverage as well. A big physical threat, very specially defensive. So we do have a lot of defense, a lot of walls on our team, in my opinion. With Togetic, Electros, Hitmontop, Snorlax, Sableye can kind of be bulky. Ferrothorn's bulky. Garchomp can be bulky. Manaphy can be bulky. So a lot of threats on the defensive side. Going into the next mon, we have Crustle, who's also pretty defensive. He also has Shell Smash and Sturdy, which is really cool. I love setup mons, so I really want to be able to put in some work with Crustle throughout the season. I don't know how many times I'm going to be able to use him, but I hope it's quite often. I want to get him in the top 25 in our what is it called? Our MVP list. Our MVP tracker is what we call it, where we set a certain amount of trophies to each Pokemon. These trophies come from the Pokemon that our Pokemon kill. So if my Crustle was to kill a Manaphy, I'd get like 6 trophies or something like that. So going on to the next one, second to last pick here. And guys, I'm sorry I'm running through this so quickly. Like I said, it's late. I have work tomorrow, and I need to get this thing out very quickly. So I'm just trying to get it done as quickly as possible. Again, going into our last Pokemon here, the last pick of the APA draft for us, we had Jinx. Jinx he's pretty quick. He has a good special attack. He has some pretty good coverage, some setup moves that we can use. I'm interested to use him. I've never used Jinx before, but I think he has dry skin as well, which is pretty cool. So dry skin's not really going to help our team out too much. Maybe with Salazzle a little bit. Maybe with Crustle a little bit. But, you know, we'll have to see what Jinx can do to support our team in certain situations. It's going to be fun though. It's going to be a really fun season. So there you have it. There's our 12 mons. Manaphy, Garchomp, Ferrothorn, Sableye, Snorlax, Hitmontop, Crustle, Salazzle, Electros, Togetic, and Jinx. Let me know in the comments below what you think of my team, what you think I'm missing, what you think that I have an excessive amount of. How could I make my team better? Give me some opinions on what I can do to make this team better. As you can see on this team, there are no duplications on types. I've covered every single type. I think there's 18 types with all 11 of these mons, which is really difficult to do. I think I have offensive pressure. I think I have defensive pressure. I'm missing a little bit of speed. My team's relatively slow. The only 3 fast mons that I have are Manaphy, Garchomp, and Manaphy, Garchomp, and Salazzle. Everything else I think actually does not hit base 100 speed. So that's kind of it's gonna be something that we're gonna have to work around, but we can do it. I know we can. But guys, again, like, subscribe, comment below on this draft analysis. Let me know what you think. I'm excited to begin this season. Our first opponent is Panther. Again, he's one of the founders of the APA, along with myself. So it's going to be a really good match, I hope. Hopefully he doesn't destroy me. And guys, we will see you Sunday. That's when the matches go up. Matches will go up every Sunday starting this coming Sunday. Don't know if we're going to have team builders. I don't think so. Just don't see myself having enough time to make team builders. But again, the match with Panther will be up this Sunday. Hopefully it's a good one. Hopefully we can go into the playoffs in our first Wi-Fi season. And guys, I will see you in the coming weeks. Peace.